On this episode of Smoke Signals, we'll talk to user experience designer Fred Warren about some features and workflows that you'll see in the pre-release trial that weren't shown at NAB. You'll also get a sneak peek of upcoming training for Smoke 2013 from Autodesk training guru Grant Kay. And finally, we'll talk about optimizing your Mac for installing Smoke so you'll be ready to rock with the new Smoke as soon as it's available. Hi everyone, I'm Marc-Andre Ferguson, Industry Manager and Product Evangelist for Autodesk Smoke. Welcome to Smoke Signals. On this episode, we continue bringing you all the news that you need to know about Autodesk Smoke, but we also have a very special guest.
I'm Heather McDermott. I'm the Product Marketing Manager for Autodesk Smoke, and I'm here with our CEO, Carl Bass, who is in town for the C2 conference. Thanks for talking with us, Carl.
Great.
So tell me, part of the strategy of the new Smoke was really not only to make it more affordable, but more accessible for people. And I know that Autodesk has a long history of making technology available to wider audiences. So do you think people are, especially now, with apps on mobile devices and things like that, so do you think more people are aware of Autodesk? And what are your thoughts on making technology more accessible?
So I think you hit the nail on the head. Autodesk's mission has always been to make technology more accessible. The entire history of the company is taking things that were geared towards higher end audiences and moving that technology and making it broader by making it simpler and more affordable. So what we're doing with Smoke fits into a long history. We've also, over the last couple of years, done a number of things on mobile devices where we've taken some fairly sophisticated technology and repackaged it in ways that make it accessible to vastly broader audiences. Okay. We've gone from tens or hundreds of thousands to users to tens of millions of users. And it has certainly changed the awareness of Autodesk. It's certainly broadened our appeal. It makes people who never knew anything about us, I have kids and moms stopping me and saying, I love this app or this app, where, generally speaking, most of our technology had been geared to a professional audience.
So yesterday you were talking about storytelling and how everyone has a story to tell.
Yes.
So Smoke as an editing tool obviously supports storytelling. So can you talk a little bit about Autodesk's philosophy of how we support storytellers?
Yeah, I think historically we've mostly supported professional storytelling. So if you look at the tools for our media and entertainment customers, it's for professional storytellers. And then we have other professionals who tell stories, and all we've really enabled them to do is produce the assets that are used to tell the story, but we force them to go somewhere else. I think with what we're doing with Smoke on the Mac, we're now giving affordable tools to a broad range where we'll be able to tell stories across all of our users. It won't have to be just merely specialized professionals who are able to do this.
Yeah, and so when we launched Smoke, the new Smoke,
yes,
we told everyone that Smoke is changing everything, and the reaction of the market so far has said, some people have said, "Wow, this is a disruptive technology." Yeah. So, what do you think about Autodesk's philosophy about bringing these high-end technologies to new markets?
Yeah. So I think of disruptive as a compliment. Certainly in this context, it's a compliment. And usually disruptive is disruptive to the industry or the other providers of technology. To the customer who for the first time gets their hands on technology that's really capable, this is a blessing. I mean, this is a great thing. It's not disruptive to them. It's exciting and new, and it gives them more capability and lets them extend their creative potential. So I think that's a fantastic thing. The fact that kind of entrenched legacy competitors will find it disruptive, that's just collateral damage.
All right, well, thanks very much for taking your time to talk to us, Carl.
Okay, thank you.
At NAB, people were blown away by the total redesign of the new editing workflow and paradigm in Smoke 2013, but you probably don't realize just how much work was put in the design of the new interface. So I'm here again with Frederick Warren, and we're going to discuss the design process. So Fred is user experience designer, And Fred, why don't you tell me a little bit about how Smoke 2013 will be different in the pre-release trial than what people might have seen at NAB already?
So what we've done after NAB is actually take the feedback that the people that were on the show floor had, and also what we could read from the different forums such as Creative Cow or the area, and we made some tweaks to different parts of the software. So the usual suspects, the media hub, the timeline, Connect FX. So we added some polishing to these features, and we also made some much more big improvements to the Connect FX workflow.
People saw the new editing workflow at NAB, but you have a lot of things up your sleeve, and so what can people expect in the pre-release trial?
So the major change between what people have seen at NAB and the pre-trial version is that we have tried to do the same workflow improvements and simplification effort in Connect FX. So if I can just quickly show you an example here, if I go in Connect FX, you will notice that by default you should be in a display that will make you understand what you should do here. So you have the schematic and your result by default. We have modified the layout so things are more accessible and close to the area that you are working on. And we have also made some smaller adjustments. For example, we have introduced the contextual menus to the schematic, so things that people will go to discover functions and different things that they can do to their compositing tree. We've also made some adjustment on how you can work with the schematic, so it is easier for people to manipulate what they're doing with their effects.
So Fred, are there any specific areas that you'd really like feedback about from the tens of thousands of people that will download the pre-release trial over the course of the summer?
Of course, so we would like to have feedback on like the entire software, but if we could get some more specifics, feedback on the media hub, the timeline, the editing experience, also Connect FX, and everything that is related to, is it like a Mac experience? Because one of the concerns we had with previous releases of Smoke is that it was Smoke running on a Mac, but it was not a Mac product. So does it feel like a Mac product now? It is really important to understand that we are always seeking feedbacks from customers, from different forums, like from emails, internet forums, like one-on-one meetings. People need to understand that all of their feedback won't be integrated like just next week. It can take some time, but we're always open to collecting people's thoughts, and we're doing our best to integrate them.
You can install Smoke 2013 on the following Mac Pros, on these MacBook Pros, on these models of iMacs. We support macOS 10.6.7, 10.6.8, or any flavor of Lion. Obviously, you want as much RAM as possible, but 8 gigs is the standard minimum. As for video output, we support the Kona 3, Kona 3G, and IOXT from AJA. Make sure that you have a hard drive that is fast enough to support the media that you're going to install on it. For example, if you want to work in it uncompressed, you probably want to have a Thunderbolt RAID or a fiber channel storage or even an eSATA RAID. But any FireWire drive or USB 2 drive will work as long as you work in compressed intermediates. We've been working really hard to make sure that the new Smoke was going to be easy to use for all of you. And just to make sure that you get up and running as fast as possible, Master Trainer Grant K has been working on a slew of new tutorials on the Smoke Learning channel. When we make the pre-release trial of Smoke available, Grant will also launch a new series of tutorials on Smoke 2013. Over 3 hours of brand new training spread across 30 different tutorials. Just to whet your appetite, here are a few excerpts.
And source material. Now, other aspects of setting up a project is to tell Smoke what your intermediate format is going to be. This refers to all the project-generated media, such as renders and local copies, which are stored in this format. The Media Hub is essentially divided up into two sections. On the left is the media library, that is Smoke's database containing all of your source media and sequences. Before you import any media, you have to decide if you will let Smoke manage your media. You can opt into importing the file in its native format and keeping it where it is, or have Smoke transcode the footage into the intermediate format that you selected when you set up your project.
To register for the Smoke trial, go to autodesk.com/smoke-trial. Don't forget to check out the Smoke Learning channel on YouTube, so you can hit the ground running with training from the man, the myth, the Smoke legend, Grant Kay. You can join thousands of your fellow editors talking about Smoke on Facebook. Become a fan at facebook.com/AutodeskSmoke. It's where you'll find past episodes of Smoke Signals, where you can keep yourself up to date on upcoming events in your area, and it's where you can chat with other editors using Smoke. Finally, spread the word to your friends on Twitter using the Smoke hashtag. On behalf of the whole team here at Autodesk, I'm Marc-Andre Ferguson. Thank you for watching.